Good afternoon, everyone. I am grateful for everyone who is able to join into our call today, right, and learn a little bit more about blockchain itself. Okay, we are going to join in and learn a little bit more in trying to figure out, right, what does it mean, right, to build your first blockchain. Okay, my name is Desmond, right, and I'm a host for you today, and I will be kind of helping you, right, to understand just a little bit more, right, about blockchain, introducing to you, right, your main speaker for today as well. Okay, so what does it mean to build your own blockchain, and what is blockchain exactly? So today we'll learn just a little bit more about that. Okay, because we have been in for the past 4 or 5 years, right? Learned so much about and heard so much about blockchain, right? In terms of in social media, right? Even in all the different platforms where they are talking about the different coins. But is it really only just about the coins, or is it a little bit more than that? Okay, because blockchain is the underlying technology behind it and is here to change the world. And I'm sure you are listening in today because you want to figure out just a little bit more as to how this important, right, and upcoming technology will be able to fit into your life, right, and how can it fit and shape your potential career in it as well. So, firstly, today I'd like to introduce to you Amaresh, right, who is our speaker for today. So Amaresh has been in this space for more than 6 years, and he has been really trying to get into the depths of blockchain itself. So Amresh is a self-made man, right? He has been in consulting for the past 10 years, and for the past years when he has been dabbling in blockchain itself, right? He has been so intrigued into it, he decided to become a developer in it. So he got himself certified, right? And his for the past 2 years, right, he really dived into it and got himself many certificates in blockchain itself. Okay, so today, right, we are honored, right, to be able to have him speak to us, right, and share with us his journey, right, and also share with us, how, right, you can build, right, your first blockchain, right, with some of the things that he will show us today. Okay, so without further ado, right, I would like to invite, right, our esteemed, right, Amaresh, right, to kind of share with us, how can we build your first block.
Thank you, Desmond. I'm really glad that you invited me for the session. Thanks for the invitation and thank you everyone for joining in and finding time to learn more about blockchain and introducing, as Desmond said, like I'm Amresh Sahu. I'm a certified blockchain trainer. I started off as an enthusiast, and right now I'm a professional in blockchain technology. It's very exciting space. It's a very dynamic space, and I hope that by the end of the session, you get as much excited as I have been always about blockchain technology. Starting off without wasting time, let's start off with it. We'll have a Q&A at the end. I would request you keep your questions with you and let's discuss your questions at the end. So starting off, build your first blockchain. Let's try to understand the underlying technology behind it. Let's try to understand what exactly blockchain technology is and how we can leverage blockchain technology for our future. So starting off, it's just an introductory session. I won't be diving in deep, but yes, the learning outcomes we are expecting would be understanding what blockchain technology is, and I have a pretty nice incentive for you to stay till the end. That would be, I would help you create your own cryptocurrency. We have been listening about many cryptocurrencies, uh, n number of cryptocurrencies around, but I'll teach you at the end how you can create your cryptocurrency, maybe in your name or your friend's name or your parents' name or your surname, right? Okay, let's move ahead. Let's start off with a small question. I would definitely love if everybody participates in it so that we could make it more exciting and more interactive, and that would be fun. So I have a small question to you guys. Just give me an idea. What do you think that what kind of a world we live in? At present, do we live in a centralized world or a decentralized world? I would love to see your opinion. Navjot Singh says, okay, centralized. Pratyush saying 50-50. Kunal sir saying centralized. Okay, a lot of opinion, definitely. Centralized. Rudra Barik is saying centralized. Okay. Thanks for your participation. I would love everybody should participate. It would be fun. So if we see in today's date, most of the things around us are centralized. Yes, it is centralized. You start off with our government. We start off with our banks. We start off with the corporates, and so on and so forth. Whatever we see around, most of the things are centralized. What do you mean by centralized? Centralized on a higher level, if we see, it's basically power is concentrated in the hands of few. It's very important to understand this. In today's date, whatever we have around, whatever organizations or things we have around, the power is concentrated in the hands of few. That is a centralized system. If we talk about technology, we have the technology which is existing today. Most of it is centralized. That means most of the data is controlled. If there is an organization, most of the data is controlled by few, and they have the authority to change it, manipulate it, or whatever you can say, right? So it's a centralized world. But of course, there are certain advantages of the centralized system. That is why we are living in a centralized system today, right? First, big advantage, simplified management. A person who is not deeply involved in a certain thing, he doesn't need to take a lot of headache. He doesn't want to take a lot of headache, right? So it is simplified. It is very easy to use also. It is very simple for a third person to use a system without getting deeply involved into the system. And a few people control the things, and you just use the system, and that's fine. That's cool. That's fine, right? So it's simplified. Management gets simplified. Okay. Next, of course, it becomes easy to use, and low cost of expenses are less. Operation expenses are less, since a small team manages the things. Okay. So these are the advantages. Okay. So everything has a flip side. Let's talk about the flip side. Yes, centralized system, since it's a small entity with controls. Or for example, let's take an example of a database. Let's take an example of a database where the database is stored at a single point, maybe a server, it is stored. So a single point of failure in a centralized system can disrupt everything in just one go. Yes, that is a danger which we live with, right? The entire system can be affected just by just one thing getting affected. Okay, there is a huge security risks. We talk about hacking, things getting hacked and everything. So when we talk about those things, security risks are also there, always there. Centralized system pose security risks due to single point of access. Okay, so which makes it more vulnerable to be attacked and potentially expose all the data when the control, if the control data and control if breached, right? Last but most important, I would say, this is the point on which the centralized system have a huge drawback, that is lack of transparency. If today I am using a centralized system, there it is never transparent. Centralized system are mostly not transparent, so I have to trust the entity which is providing the service, made with the government, made with the banks, made with the corporates. I have to trust them. So it is also very opaque at the same time. We don't know what's going behind the bank, in the bank, what's going on the hindsight. We don't know what's going on the hindsight of a government. We don't know what's going on the hindsight of a corporate. So there is huge lack of transparency, which creates a lot of issues and has been creating a lot of issues, for which maybe in today's date, the world or people are thinking of decentralizing stuff. So let's get into certain things which has happened maybe before or recently, or maybe it's continuing to happen in our everyday life. If you guys have heard about 2008 subprime crisis, if you the subprime crisis, which happened in US. What basically happened is like the banks, they gave certain loans which were not maybe up to the point. Maybe it was not, maybe people were not eligible for the loans, and the loans were given, and decisions were taken by certain banks, which in due course of time affected not just the economy of US, but the entire world. If you remember 2008 crisis, you can just, if you want to know in deep, you can just go and watch a movie, The Big Sort. It's available on maybe Prime, Amazon Prime. You can go and watch, and you will understand that when the power is in the hands of few people, it is bound to be exploited. It has to get exploited, and so it does always, and has always been done. Next, let's come to another thing. Let's take a look at another problem, or maybe another thing which we deal with it every day, especially in the globalized world. The second image, if you can see out here, it's a bill of Western Union Telco. Basically, this is a photograph, or maybe the scanned copy of the first international money transfer by Western Union. If you can see, it is a $300 transfer, and the fees is $6.34. So roughly, you can say 3.5% is the maybe the charges they have taken to do the international transfer. So just imagine, this was in 1873. So in 1873, the transaction cost for international money transfer was roughly around 3.5%. And in 2023 also, if you do the same through the traditional methods of traditional money transfer, you will see it again, that the same amount of charges are being taken. But if you see it deeply, a lot of advancement in technology has been going on and is still going on since 1873, I guess. So just imagine in 150 years, technologies have gone from nowhere to you can't imagine today, but yet the charges are being the same. I don't find any logic in that, right? You need to think. Next, again, centralization, lack of transparency in governance. Okay, so this is again a big problem which I explained previously. There is a lack of transparency, so we don't have control over the decisions, government stake with big corporate stake and big entity stake, right? So these are a few examples which I gave of centralized world and the problems related to that, right? Okay, let's move ahead. Now let's talk about a decentralized system, how it is. Because when we talk about blockchain, the first word which precedes blockchain is decentralization, right? Decentralization is nothing but just simple. The power or the decision making is not concentrated in the hands of few. It is decentralized. It is distributed among various people, a large number of people. We talk of democracy. This is true democracy. Decentralization or blockchain technology is true democracy. So what are the advantages? Of course, when a data is at one place, I told you what the disadvantages are. But when the data or whatever we have is distributed among various people, large number of people, so of course there is high availability of data. It means it's simple. If the data is tampered at some place, we can access the untampered data from other places also. So in this way, we have high availability, increased trust and transparency. If we come to specifically blockchain, it is very important to understand that is complete. Okay, I need to switch off the annotation. Okay. Okay. So when it comes to blockchain, there is transparency, because in this system, on blockchain system, the data is completely transparent. It can be seen by anybody. Whatever transaction is being done, it can be seen by anybody. And again, there is data privacy and security also, because the data is again encrypted using cryptography. So when we dive in deep into these topics, we can know, I'm just guiding you at a high level. And negligible transaction costs. Yes, these are few advantages of a decentralized system. So now let's get into the topic of blockchain. What exactly is a blockchain? Let's try to understand. In simple words, blockchain is a distributed, immutable ledger which is completely transparent. So let's get into the keywords, what exactly blockchain is. And mind you, blockchain is a disruptive technology. By the end of the session, I'll share with you how exactly it is a truly disruptive technology, and it is a point of interest that everyone should have, right? So what is distributed immutable ledger? And as it says, it is completely transparent. So what is a ledger in the first place? So if you get into a dictionary and find out what's the meaning of a ledger, ledger is basically a record keeping system that is used to track transaction. Okay, let me give you an example. When you go to a McDonald's or a Starbucks, you go there, you ask for a coffee or a burger. So the person sitting out there who is in front of a system, he inputs certain data or whatever ordering you are doing, and a bill is generated. He gives you the bill, but at the same time, what exactly he did, he entered a data into the ledger. Ledger as in the record keeping stuff, right? That is a ledger is as a place where the record are stored, where the transactions are stored, or the records are stored, right? Traditionally, it used to be done on copies and books. We had ledger books. Still, there are places where we use ledger books. And with the coming of computer, we have started recording our data in our systems, right? In blockchain technology, we have ledgers, but they are stored in a block. You can see it's a it's just a representation. Basically, there is a ledger which is stored in blocks. That is what we call in blockchain. Blocks are the place where the transaction or the ledger is stored. So that's a ledger. And interestingly, these are distributed ledger. There is no one place where the blocks or the ledgers are stored. Basically, what happens, there are n number of nodes, or the places, you can say. If I use a technical word, it's called node. Or if I talk generally, these are places where the data or the transactions or the ledger are stored, not in one place. In blockchain, it is stored in maybe 10, 20, 30, 100, or thousands of nodes are there in which the transactions are stored, so the blocks are stored, right? But interestingly, the blocks are not singular in nature. There are multiple blocks of transactions or multiple blocks of ledger which are there stored in the nodes, and that is where from which we get the word blockchain. It's a chain of blocks or a chain of ledger which are stored not in one place but n number of places, and that is what makes it distributed. That means data is not stored at one place in a blockchain. In blockchain technology, it is stored in multiple places and multiple nodes, right? It's stored. And interestingly, all these nodes are interconnected. All the nodes are interconnected, and that is what is the most amazing part, right? Suppose we have a node. Suppose this first node wants to add a new transaction into the ledger. So it doesn't happen just like that. Okay, like this node wants to add a transaction, he just adds it just like that. Okay. So what happens is this node, I think I can use the annotations here. Spotlight, right? This node adds a transaction in his block or proposes to add a new transaction to the chain of blocks. Once he proposes it, after that, what happens? It shares the data, or it shares the addition. It shares that I'm going to add a new block to the transaction, to the blockchain, and it shares it with all other nodes. And after consensus is made, consensus as in all other nodes will check. It's not just his decision to add a block to the blockchain, but it has to take consensus from everybody. So everybody else will again check if the transaction is genuine, if the transaction is not a fake transaction. They will check, and once the consensus is made, everybody else will add the new transaction into the blockchain, right? Sounds interesting, right? So what happens is, this is how it is done in a blockchain. And if we overall, if we take a view of what exactly blockchain is, how exactly blockchain technology works, okay, it is this way. Okay, guys, I explained it in a very simple way, but it is not as simple as I said. It's a lot of technology into it. But yes, I just gave you a overview, right? So now another interesting part is it is also transparent. Okay, whatever transaction is getting added, it is visible to all these nodes, and anybody can see what transactions are happening. So it is completely transparent. That is again a benefit. The opaqueness of the centralized system gets eliminated in blockchain technology, and all the transaction is also cryptographically. They are secured, they are hashed, and private keys and everything are used. Okay, cryptography is used to do the thing, right? The most amazing part, I would say, this is the most important point in which the blockchain technology has an extra edge. That is immutability. Just imagine an example. Let's talk about example, very simple example. Let's see. Suppose there is a house and I have the money to buy the house. So what I do is that I go to the owner of the house, I give him the money, and the property gets transferred to my name, and the entire transaction is stored in you can say a ledger, a land record, which the government or the government agencies maintain, right? But if we think it in a flip side, if we think about the flip side of it, you I would have a doubt in my mind. What if the government agencies wish to change the data in the land record? Can they do it? You would say, no, they are the government people. Why would they do it? But if at all they want, can they do it? Yes, the answer is yes. Yes, they can. So basically, I have to trust the government or trust the government agencies that things are being done in the right way. But as we know, it never happens this way always, right? But in blockchain, always remember, whatever transaction we have, once the transaction is into the blockchain, it is there for eternity. It cannot be changed, right? So when we talk about trusting the government agencies, blockchain says you don't need to trust anybody. You have to just use blockchain technology, and the quotient of trust can be kept aside in future, right? So this is about blockchain technology, what exactly it is, and what are the features of blockchain technology. It's a vast topic. I'm just telling you in gist, right? Now, another interesting word, when you enter the blockchain world, you will listen about smart contracts. Okay, very fascinating word, interesting. First time I heard, I was really excited about it. So what are smart contracts? Okay, so basically smart contract is a self-executing business logic that operates on a blockchain. For example, if I say like this, I complete a task and I get money for that. Okay, so the entire process or the business logic can be stored in a blockchain that if I travel 10 kilometers, let's say if I run 10 kilometers, I will be awarded with, let's just giving you example, I will be awarded with $10. Just an example, just an easy example. I think you must be thinking, wow, it would be amazing. I would run a lot if I would get $10 for running 10 kilometers. But let's take an example. Okay, so what smart contract can be done with, what we can do with a smart contract is that we can store the business logic through programming in a smart contract on a blockchain that once I complete 10 kilometers, maybe my Apple Watch would record it and it would give the data to the smart contract on the blockchain, and automatically $10 would be credited to my account. Okay. I just give you a very simple logic. Here, there is no third party. There is nobody controlling the entire process. It is the blockchain. And on the blockchain, there is this smart contract, which has the business logic, which executes everything. It automatically takes the data. Maybe if I use a word Oracle, it takes it from the Oracle and automatically it gets executed. Interesting, right? So you don't need a third agency or a controlling agency to see the data and give out the reward. That is what I'm trying to say. It is simply amazing when we talk about blockchain, right? It automatically executes, as you can see, it automatically executes the agreed upon action when a specific conditions are made without a need of intermediaries or human intervention. So this is what smart contract is. It's basically a business logic on a blockchain, right? So I give you some very interesting things, just trying to make you understand what blockchain technology is. Let's come to like what is happening in blockchain right now and how big the market is, and is it an amazing thing for us to look seriously into this technology? Is it a serious stuff or just a fad which comes and goes, right? So let's talk about the market size. Honestly, this is insane what you're seeing out here. 2021, it's in US dollar, billion US dollar, 5.7 billion US dollars market size was there in 2021. 22 was $10 billion. 23 is $19 billion. And just imagine by 2030, I don't know, it's something in trillion. I can't even count the zeros in that, right? So it is such a technology which is going to, and rather I would say is slowly but surely revolutionizing the entire technology space. And literally it's a disruptive technology which is creating amazing outcomes in the technology space, right? So this is the market size we saw. Okay, you must be thinking, okay, fine, this is huge. This market size is huge, right? What if I get into the space? Am I the guy who can get into the space? I would say, in this space, what is popularly called as Web3, the blockchain technology space is called a Web3 space. Just imagine it is a space. If you have technical skills, you are welcome. If you don't have any technical skills, then also you are welcome. Okay, because the roles which are available, the job roles which are available is of very diverse nature. It's a misnomer, or maybe I don't know, there is doubt in people's mind normally whom I encounter, that if you know coding, then only you can get into blockchain. No, never. It's not that. Okay, you have your skill set, you can come into the blockchain space and contribute into the space, the Web3 space. Okay, people with core technical skills like strong programming skills, strong cryptography skills, they are, of course, they are the front runners in the space. But people with non-technical skills also definitely can do a lot out here in the Web3 space, like strong writing and communication skills, okay, strong research and analytical skills, graphic designing skills. Yes, you are a hot selling cake out here, right? UI UX design skills, product management skills, and a lot more that can be. If you have these skills, you can come along, or maybe you don't have the skills, you can acquire these skills and come along into the blockchain space. What are the job roles that are available? Okay, just these are the 15 which I have listed. There are a lot more. But yes, you can become a blockchain developer. You can become a blockchain architect. You can become a dApp developer, a decentralized application developer. You can become a Solidity developer. You can become a smart contract developer, metaverse developer. You must have heard about metaverse, right? NFT developer, you can also become. The graphic design people are the one who can come into the NFT space. right? Uh, Front-end developer, of course, the back-end developers, they are the core of this technology out here. UI UX designer, community manager, because blockchain space or Web3 space is more about the community. You have a lot of it is dependent on the community. So there is a huge role of community managers, content writers, those who understand Web3 or blockchain technology, graphic designers, huge demand, product managers, huge demand, research analysts, huge demand, and a lot more, and many more job roles are available in the Web3 space. Okay, I know what your next question would be. So, what's the salary? How good are the salaries in this space? Because many a times we think about how much money we can make in this industry before coming in. So if we talk about blockchain developers, this is the latest data I have taken up. North Americans, if you are from North America and your company is based out of North America, of course, the minimum salary and the maximum salary, $80,000 to $250,000. These are the two ends. But yes, on an average, $150,000 is what average people make out there in North America. And the best part, I would say, doesn't matter which part of the globe you are most welcome. If you're a developer, you can definitely join any company anywhere in the world, because most of the work that goes on in the Web3 space, the blockchain space, is remote, right? Like the way I'm sitting in India and people from across the globe are joining and we are discussing Web3, right? Most of the jobs are work from home. So these are the range of salaries of developers, those who are the core developers of Web3 protocols, of blockchain protocols. Okay. So I know what the next question is. Okay. What about the non-tech people? You can just see the kind of salaries people can get if they are into the blockchain space. Of course, I'll just add a caveat. It depends on your skills, how good you are on a particular thing. There are positions available for legal aspect, because a lot of legal stuff, because many protocols are developing things related to fintech, right? So many legal advice and legal things are required in that. So if you are on the legal side and you want to come into the blockchain space, most welcome. Product managers, HRs, finance, project managers, sales, designs, marketing, recruiters, community managers, social media, all things are open for you in the blockchain space, and the salaries are definitely awesome. You can just see how good the salaries are. Okay, if you say I'm not interested in taking a job, I want to be entrepreneur in the Web3 space. Okay, so it's huge good news for you if you want to start up something. And of course, when you start up a thing, you should go with the technology that is coming in. And blockchain technology is the rising technology in today's date. And we have some amazing support for people developing on blockchain, right? I'm just showing you a screenshot of a website which lists all the fundings or the VC fundings that goes on in the Web3 space. Just see the numbers. These are insane numbers. I don't know how much this is, like Epic Games. This is maybe 2 billion. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe. Okay, just imagine the numbers. If you want to start a new startup and you want funding, if you are in the Web3 space or the blockchain space, there are dedicated funds for that, right? A dedicated VCs have their dedicated funds to invest in such companies, and there are a lot many. If you ask, right now things are a bit low in the startup space, I would say not in the Web3 space, of course. This is another list which I have got for you. You can see the dates. It is this month. Maybe I'm just showing you 19 fundings which took place. Maybe 70, 80 big fundings by VCs done in the Web3 space or the blockchain space. And again, the numbers are also insane. Not insane as like the slide before, but these are also amazing numbers. So if you want to start up in Web3 space, most welcome. And this is a good news for you, because VCs are waiting for you to start a project. You start up, you build a good project, give some good solutions using blockchain technology, and people are ready to fund you, right? Now let's talk about what has already been happening in the Web3 space. I tell you, uh, I agree there has been a lot of buzz with the coins and stuff, but honestly speaking, the cryptocurrencies or the price we see fluctuating from nowhere to shooting up to the moon, this is a very small part of the entire blockchain space. And these cryptocurrencies are a small, very minor implementation of the powerful blockchain technology. So apart from that, a lot of real-time use cases of blockchain technology are already prevalent in today's date. If you talk about, let's take an example, the supply chain. And when we talk about supply chain, we talk about Walmart, one of the biggest corporations which deals with FMCG and other goods. So IBM is again a big name in the technology space. So Walmart, in collaboration with IBM, they have developed blockchain. Using the blockchain technology, they are tracing their entire supply chain. That means the produce which is coming on to Walmart, maybe a wheat that is coming in through blockchain technology, they are tracking where the wheat is produced, what kind of environment is getting used, or what kind of fertilizers are getting used to produce the wheat, and then the transportation, the packaging, and everything is getting tracked on a blockchain. That means the first thing what happens, the advantage which comes is transparency and traceability. Transparency and traceability, because earlier the data that was stored, definitely there is a threat of the data being manipulated or maybe changed, right? In a blockchain, they can track everything from where the thing was produced, and everything is stored on the blockchain, so they can access the data, right? And next, of course, it enhances the efficiency of the system. For example, if there is a maybe a lot of there is a batch of products, maybe a batch of certain biscuits, for example, which are not of that good quality. So the issue can be traced back to the place from where the wheat is grown or the flour is grown, and they can track where the thing went wrong in getting exactly the problem, the point at which the problem occurred, since everything is getting stored in the blockchain. Improved security, quality control. Okay, best thing that happens because of blockchain is quality control, because things can be traced. And of course, if we want, we can also provide the entire supply chain data to the end user, because the end user, just by scanning a QR code, they can know where the things are being done and what is the maybe the quality environment in which things are done. They can see every data of the entire supply chain. That builds trust. So they don't have to trust the government agencies, which gives you the quality check, certificates, right? So this is one implementation that is being largely used by Walmart and is being copied by many other enterprises. Okay, so this was one implementation which I shared. Okay, land records, which I was talking about earlier. Government of Colombia has put the entire land record onto the blockchain, because once it is stored in the blockchain, it cannot be changed, right? Not just Colombia, but if you are in India, the government of Maharashtra, it has also done the same. They have put the entire data onto the blockchain, the land records, right? So this is another implementation which is very prevalent in today's date. If you talk about Singapore, Singapore has adopted blockchain technology like anything. It is doing amazing use of blockchain technology. Like, I'll just give you one or two examples from government of Singapore. So we have open attestation. Okay, open attestation as in, if you have a certificate or something, uh, it is attested and stored in a blockchain. The data gets stored in the blockchain. And what advantages we get? It is tamper-proof record. Of course, anything stored on the blockchain is tamper-proof. It cannot be mutated. It's immutable, right? It again increases transparency, enhances security, of course, reduces time and cost. Okay. So in today's date, if somebody is hiring somebody, so Faris, I'll just come to your questions at the end. Sure. So if you come to, if you have a document and you want it to be verified, and you produce it, you get it verified and you produce it to somebody, then they have to check, cross-check it, and it takes a lot of money and time that gets utilized for verifying it. But if it is on a blockchain, it is transparent and anybody can see your document and verify it. And once it is verified and stored in a blockchain, you can trust the data, right? So it reduces time and cost, and of course, trust as a factor is very important, and that is the point on which blockchain works, right? Let's get into another very interesting application of blockchain, implementation of blockchain. Again, government of Singapore, we have this open cert. Okay, this is prevalent since 2018, I suppose 17 or 18. You can find all this data in the government website, government of Singapore website. So the certificates that are getting issued, that is on the blockchain. They're issuing certificates on blockchain so that the certificate does not get tampered. A lot of problem that used to happen because of duplicate certificates, that gets eliminated, and it is tamper proof, reduces time and cost. If an employer wants to check your certificate, they can just see on the blockchain and check it if the things are correct or not, right? So next implementation after certificates, trade and commerce. When there is international trade taking place, a lot of documentation, transfer bill, landing bills, and many other documents are there that is getting stored on blockchain, and a lot of time is getting saved, and the ease of doing international business is getting it is becoming easier. And again, this is called the trade trust, which the government of Singapore is implementing as of now, right? Okay, do you love gaming? I tell you, blockchain is going to change the way people game. Till now, we have been, I also do a lot of gaming. I also have fun. So I invest my money and my time and my internet bills and everything to play games. Of course, we don't get anything in return of that. And there's a lot of money that we spend in the maybe the artifacts, the things we use for the gaming thing. But with the coming of blockchain technology, it is going to get revolutionized. It has already started to do so. The technology can enable new business models for game developers, providing gamers with much more opportunity to engage, interact with each other. Additionally, blockchain technology can enhance the security in the gaming, making it more difficult for hackers and fraudsters to compromise gaming assets. Yes, a lot of things are happening in the gaming space when it comes to blockchain technology, right? Oh, yes, I know you were searching for this and you got this, because this symbol, the Bitcoin symbol, is everywhere. And normally people misinterpret blockchain to be Bitcoin and Bitcoin to be blockchain. Bitcoin is an implementation of blockchain, right? It is not blockchain. Blockchain can be used as a store of value by allowing individuals to store their digital assets, such as cryptocurrencies, in a decentralized and secured way, right? So it's like if you have money and you store in the bank, so whose money it is? Of course, it is your money, but when it is with the bank has all the rights to utilize it in the way they want, right? This technology makes you the real owner. Okay, your money would be your money and it will be with you only, right? There's a lot of technology behind it, and you need to understand how exactly it is done. Transactions on a blockchain are verified by a network of nodes, and once confirmed, cannot be altered. Yes, once the transaction is done, it cannot be altered, and it is verified by the nodes, and once it is confirmed, as I said, it cannot be altered. This provides high degree of security and transparency for users looking to store and transfer value. Additionally, blockchain technology allows the real-time monitoring of transaction, ensuring the users have complete control over their assets. As I said, complete control over their assets is what blockchain gives you when it is implemented in store of value, right? But what happens exactly, since it's a new technology, there is a lot of speculation happening around it. So that is, we actually hear speculations. Bitcoin became $60,000, $30,000. It fell to $16,000. This is all what we hear in the news, but this is all speculation. Okay, so a lot of things happening around in the cryptocurrency space, but yes, this speculation thing will die down in due course of time, and the real implementation of blockchain will definitely come along in due course of time, right? Okay, so when we are talking about in the beginning, we are talking about international transfer. A lot of charges are being taken by banks and intermediate agencies just to transfer money, right? So because of blockchain, many solutions came up. One of them being Ripple. You can search about it. It's a payment protocol in which the speed is very high. It's almost instant, okay, and lower cost, improved security, increased transparency, and most importantly, accessible to all. There are a lot of people in this world, those who still don't have the access to banking systems, right? Maybe what this is, maybe the technology which will give access to all these technology, all these things of international money transfers and everything through blockchain technology, right? So coming to the end part, we are coming to the end. So as I promised, I'll help you create a cryptocurrency, maybe in your name, or maybe let's choose a name in which we can create a cryptocurrency out here. So for creating your own cryptocurrency, you can do it. It's very simple and easy. As I show, it will just take 5 minutes or maybe less than that. So you need knowledge about Solidity. It's a programming language which is used in the blockchain technology. We need to have a Remix ID. Remix ID is an online browser. It's a browser enabled. You can do the implementation. It's an IDE. MetaMask, it's a wallet, and OpenZeppelin library will be using to create it, right? So I'm just stopping the share, and I'll share my browser out here. So I hope so you are not bored listening to my talks since so long, but I hope so you are actually enjoying it. Please give a thumbs up if you are really doing it. Meanwhile, let me pop up my, oh, thank you. So here is my browser. I'm going to teach you how to create your own cryptocurrency. It's not a hands-on, but yes, you can follow me up. You can just see, you can also see the recording later on, and you can do it yourself. So I opened a website that's called openzeppelin.com. It's a library which provides us many codes, many ready-made codes which we can use to do some programming, right? So let's scroll down. Okay, let's go to contracts. They have some ready-made contracts or wizards which we can use. So yes. So I'm just showing you a very interesting stuff. It's going to be very exciting. Okay, this is a wizard through which I can just create a contract which I can use to create my own cryptocurrency. So just in the chat, just suggest me a name in which we should create our own cryptocurrency. Just suggest me a name, maybe your name, or maybe your friend's name, maybe your, okay. Any names? Any names? We are running out of time. Future Crypto, Ranjit. Okay. Bashir. Okay. Okay. Let's take up anonymous. Okay. Okay. Just let's do it this way. Let's keep the name as Xaltius, and XLT is the symbol. Okay. So let's create 10,000 coins of Xaltius, right? So I think this is all. We don't need many functions. I'm just doing it just for the sake of it. So this is the program. We are inheriting two contracts from OpenZeppelin. So it is there, and this is just the basic programming. Nothing to understand today. So from here, I start off with I take the code and I start the Remix IDE. Okay, if you start your blockchain journey in the coding side, this is your best friend in the initial phase. It will help you a lot to learn things faster and get a good idea of the things. So we have the Remix ID open, and of course, since I imported it from there, it will automatically open up. Okay, it will automatically open up. Fine, we have the contract here, and it's compiling. As you can see, the contract is getting compiled. Okay, now that the contract is compiled, let me deploy the contract. Now, while deploying the contract, I have to select the right place at which I'm doing this thing. And as you can see, it's Sepolia. It's a test net in which I'll be deploying my cryptocurrency. So once I deploy it out here, my MetaMask wallet opens, and as you can see, it's loading. Since it's a decentralized thing, sometimes it takes certain time. It's a pop-up. I believe you can see it if at all. No issue. I'm just confirming the transaction. I paid some gas fees, and after paying it, you can see out here, it is creating my transaction. That means the transaction is getting stored in the blockchain, as you can see out here. Right. Once it gets done, I'll get a notification out here, and I think it's done. Yes. So Remix ID is very helpful because it gives a like interface with which we can interact. So you can see the total supply. You can see the symbol out here. You can see the owner. This is the address from which I deployed the blockchain. You can see the name and everything. Right. So now if I want to show it to my friend or transfer it to my friend, I need to have it in my wallet. Don't worry, it's not that complicated. It's very simple. So I'll open my wallet. Yeah. Now you can see my wallet, the MetaMask wallet. It is very famous. If you start using blockchain technology, MetaMask is one of the most prevalent thing which we use. Fine. So you would say, ki, just show me where my currencies are, right? So I just had created the currency. I need to find. So as I said, we had created 10,000 Xaltius tokens. And here you see, if you see my account, number 7. So you can see some of my Ethereum. And this was one thing I created earlier just to test. And this is the token which I created just now. If I want to send it to anybody, I can just paste the address, the wallet address of anybody, and I can share it right away. Fine. So yes, just the way I created, you can also do it that way. So let's come back to the slide. I think the slides are done. Yeah. So in conclusion, if your question is, should we start a career in blockchain technology? Of course, it's a big opportunity because there is high demand of talent. It's a disruptive technology. It's innovative and dynamic environment available in the community. You will find a lot of good people, a lot of helpful people. And of course, there's a very strong community out here which is there to help you. So I think that's from my side. Thank you, Desmond. Please,
All right,
you can
thank
take.
you. Right. Thank you, Amresh, for sharing with us the wisdom of your trade and helping us to learn a little bit more and to be able to now be able to get hands-on as well. So we want to open the floor up for everyone, right? So we did mention that there'll be a short time, right, of Q&A. So now it's time for a Q&A. I'm just wondering if there's anyone who has any questions that can ask, so we can go ahead and ask Amresh. So maybe as the first question starts to come in, maybe I can start to ask Amrish as well. So today we have learned quite a fair bit about blockchain itself. So maybe the first question I have is, how long does it take for one to be actually good, right, at creating blockchain and even smart contracts?
Yeah. So, in my opinion, if somebody starts off with the basic knowledge of if somebody wants to start, they need to have the basic knowledge of blockchain technology, what exactly it is, how it works, and what are the things in the blockchain ecosystem. So maybe 5 to 6 months they can take to actually get into the groove, and one can start coding in a good way, which can be implementable. Maybe 6 to 7 months is good enough a time. With passion and interest, one can learn things faster, definitely. But on an average, I would say 6 to 7 months is more than enough for somebody to actually get into the space and do stuff.
Okay, right. Thank you for that. So maybe another question which I do have is, there are so many different, languages or even different frameworks inside blockchain itself. Which of them is most important, and which one of them will be, really useful for potentially someone who wants to do a career switch?
When somebody wants to switch a career, I believe if they have basic technical knowledge about JavaScript, they can very easily come into blockchain technology and start off with Solidity. Solidity is a basic language which is widely used in the blockchain space for writing smart contracts. So Solidity would be the first thing, and if you are thinking full stack, definitely React would be the second thing you should go for. Yeah.
All right, thank you. So we would have to pick up Solidity and then React. Okay, so we do have some questions which have coming from the crowd. Okay, the first question from Kunal is, could you give me the name of the website that you show the list of VCs and upcoming new startups in the blockchain domain?
It's Airable, AIRABLE. You can definitely search it on Google. And of course, Chat GPT always helps, right?
All right. Okay. Thank you for that, Amresh. So I do have another question. This is actually sent direct to me, but I'll help convey the question across to you from Adil Amin itself. So the question is, in the current few months, blockchain technology is underperforming, and there's not much jobs in the market itself. What is the impact that AI has on blockchain?
I would say AI versus blockchain is what people are making out on social media, but it is AI plus blockchain, right? So combining the two stuff, AI and blockchain, it is creating wonders. It all depends on how you see it, and definitely blockchain. The hype which was there, that is down, and that is good for blockchain technology, because of the hype, there has been a lot of unnecessary stuff which happened in the last 2 or 3 years in the blockchain space. And definitely in coming times, sensible people are in the coming into the space and building serious stuff, not just the gimmicky stuff of NFTs and cryptocurrencies. Serious people are coming up with the right mind to serve the society, give something back to the society. So that is what is happening. And with the AI, I would say definitely it is blockchain plus AI is the future. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Amresh. 6:30. So we do have a question from our YouTube live itself. So the question is, how different is crypto mining compared to creating a blockchain coin?
See, when you talk about crypto mining, I believe there are very few coins, so very few protocols that are using proof of work. If you understand what is proof of work is there. In that only we have the mining thing, right? And it is quite a different thing. Mining is like you are building the consensus, and you're a part of building consensus in creating in the blockchain technology in the particular coin. And creating a coin, now again, it's a deep thing. You need to know the difference between a coin and a token. What is a coin? What is a token? And yes, it's a deep stuff, but yes, it is quite different. And mining is something which has been questioned by many because of the environmental impact is it has. A lot of energy is getting used because of mining. Many governments have banned it in the countries, but yes, with the switch from proof of work to proof of stake, which is very energy efficient, I think mining would be a thing of the past. Proof of work is proof of stake is the thing that is coming up. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that answer. So I think probably a very good question coming from BooCCV, right, would be, do you have a reputable online institution that you recommend for training?
Desmond, I would suggest you to take the question.
Okay, so for us itself, thank you for answering, giving us this question. So at Xaltius, we are actually one of the providers, right, for blockchain training as well. So as this masterclass is one of the showpiece for us to be able to help educate the public, right, as to how blockchain, right, can be useful for your potential future career or even a career switch that you have, right. Xaltius is actually into giving people this opportunity, right? And we are actually running courses in this as well. So do check us out on our webpage, right, for you to find out just a little bit more as to what courses which we do offer. So blockchain is definitely one of them. Okay, so thank you for that. So maybe I'll ask another question from Rundra, right, to Amresh itself. Can we build our own ecosystem with this?
Of course, you can build your own ecosystem, but depends on what kind of ecosystem you are willing to make. What are the things that are required? The ecosystem is a very vast term. You need to be specific on that. What exactly you want to build? Definitely, you can build it.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so I think we have two last questions. We'll go for this two and we'll wrap it up for today, all right? So from BooCCV again, can you share some opportunities on the use of Bitcoin technology and health, right? Drug development, right? And even therapy health.
Yeah,
blockchain, I mean.
Yeah, blockchain technology, a lot of things are happening in the health space. I'll just give you one small example. There is something called zero knowledge proof, if you have come across that. Okay, it's an extension of the blockchain technology, and blockchain is using a lot of zero knowledge proof. In many countries, it is not legal to share your health data to any third party, right? So with zero knowledge proof, you can definitely share the data without giving the actual data. It sounds very ironic, but yes, that is how zero knowledge proof works. A lot of things are going on the health side. Apart from that, definitely your entire medical history can be stored in a blockchain, and that is hashed, and it is cryptographically secured. It can be cryptographically secured and accessed by the person you give permission to access a particular data. For example, if you want to share with somebody that you have your diabetes in control without sharing exactly what is the count of diabetes in your blood, what is the count of sugar in your blood. So you can basically do that. You can tell people, tell a doctor, yes, I am having or not having, by not exactly sharing. Also, you can do a lot of things are happening in the health space. Every space, rather, I would say, blockchain is having his thing.
Sure. I think similarly for Eddie's question as well, right? He has actually asked the same thing, but for minorities. Maybe you could just share a little bit more about minorities and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
Amresh, for minorities, is there a way of utilizing blockchain technology?
I don't understand exactly what exactly he referring to minority?
Okay, so maybe I can probably help reshape the question itself so that we can get some clarity. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong, Eddie. When you speak about minorities, you're probably talking about representation, right? In terms of how can they have a better stand in society? How can they have a better stake in terms of maybe access to financial banking or access to something? Okay, so minorities will be typically people whom are going to be lack of, right? So how can minorities, have better access or, get better life, right, using blockchain?
Definitely, that's a very good thing. Definitely, I would say that blockchain represents democracy, right? It is not central. The power is not centralized with some people. It is completely decentralized, and of course, all the technology that comes with blockchain, everybody has equal rights to use it to their benefit, and that would be, I think, make sense for everyone. Can use the technology. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Amresh, for answering this question. So, thank you, everyone. Okay. So, we have reached the end of our session, right? It's been a pleasure for us to be able to, share more information about you, right, on blockchain itself, and hopefully, right, through this session, you are able, right, to now get started, right, with blockchain, right, and potentially even start to build your own first blockchain itself. So, my name is Desmond, and Amresh has been the speaker, right, that has, walked you through this session itself. Okay, and do keep us in the loop, right, as to where you are going to go, right? And please keep a lookout for potentially courses, right, on Xaltius.tech website as well, right, so that you can learn even more, right, about blockchain. All right, so thank you, everyone. Right, have a good day, good night, right, and even good morning, right, to wherever you are joining us today. Right, thank you.